you all. Well, Jack, thank you very much. First of all, I want to find out if this microphone is working. Can you all hear it? Is the sound good, or is it? Y'all might work on the sound a little more back there. But I am delighted to be here this morning. We founded the Emerging Issues Forum about 32 or 33 years ago, and I was a younger man at that time. And at that time, I didn't use glasses. This morning, I need them. And I'm going to put them on so that I can see what I want to say to you and to see you all better. First of all, I want to say how proud I am of my chancellor. Some of you know that this is my alma mater. I was student body president here. I used to give the chancellor the devil. This man is great. We're so thrilled to have Leslie Boney. Couldn't find a better leader for this work. And of course, Jack Cecil is just one of the great education and business leaders any state has in this country. And we're also proud to have you here this morning. Now, folks, this topic today is the perfect topic. I spent my life trying to figure out what was a perfect topic. There are a lot of good ones, important ones. And all of you here, and I've met several of you, though I want to meet a lot more of you today, but you're working in the things that make this state what it can and ought to be, what this country ought to be. There's a lot of fussing and fighting and everything going on in America today. That's unfortunate. We ought to be working with each other and helping each other, and especially helping our children become the wonderful people and the great people they can be. And so as we get into this topic today, and we've got a lot of people in this room who are experts on it. You're working in it. I know what you do. I don't know everybody in this room, but I know about a third of you. I used to know all of you. And you're doing wonderful stuff. And we thank you. We're proud of you. And we're going to talk more about all of this today. North Carolina is making amazing progress in kiddonomics. There is not a state. By the way, the Dean of Education from the University of West Virginia came in this morning, Mr. Chancellor. I was speaking to that group up there last week. She's here to see what we're doing on this. I want to tell you this, and I don't want you to get the big head or think we can quit or slow down. There is not a state in America that across the state and for all of the children is doing the job that we're doing in this state of North Carolina. I thank you for it. I want you to give yourselves a hand because you're working hard at it and doing great work. And we're making amazing progress. The Emerging Issues Forum, of course, every year picks out a topic that is so important. And this is the right one for this year. We have discovered and acted in North Carolina. I want you to know this. Not all of you know this history. And I want you to know it and be proud of it. We've discovered and acted on a scientific finding. This is science. There's some people nowadays who don't believe in science. I believe in it. This university believes in it. And this topic today is about it. A scientific finding that the early years of a child's life, before they come to school, are critically important to a child's development. Development as a good person. And by the way, the longer I live, the more I value people being good people in their hearts. Yeah, I want to know they're doing all this great stuff in their life, making money or whatever. I more and more judge people based on their humanity. are they good people that God wants them to be? And I want to tell you, this is important for children to be good people. It's important to their success in school and higher education, to their personal economic success in life, and to the growth and prosperity of our state and our nation. We're not, sometimes it's easy to come to something like this about children or schools or whatever and say, well, isn't that nice for the children? Hey, isn't it nice for our jobs and our economy and our growth? That's what this is about, folks. Of course, it's the humane dimension, but it's important for, and that's why Kidonomics is a brilliant title. I commend the Emerging Issues Board for picking it, because we now know that in early education, the first 5 years are important. We also know, by the way, that the first 3 years of life are even the most important. And I hope you'll hear more about all of this today and as you work in your life. You'll learn a lot about this today. I'm proud of this forum and the speakers we have coming. And then, of course, next year is going to be a great advance even on this year. But we in North Carolina have been moving in this kidonomics direction for a good while. I'm glad that Leslie Boney mentioned the bipartisan nature of this topic and the work we ought to be doing in all of education. I was a lieutenant governor with a governor named Jim Holshouser. A lot of you are younger people and don't perhaps remember Jim Holshouser. He was a great governor. He was a Republican governor, the first one in this century. He and I worked on a lot of things together, but he was our leader. He had us put public school kindergartens in. You assume they've always been there, don't you? They haven't. He ran on it in '72, and so did I, and we did it. A big thing, requiring real resources, and North Carolina recognized the importance of it, and we had the guts to do it and to invest in it. Jim Holshouser. Governor Martin came along. Jim Martin, elected after me, before me. He was a wonderful governor on a lot of things, including transportation. But one of the things he did was to push for more child health care in this state. And of course, we've had other governors who've come along in this century who pushed all of these things. So we've had lots of private initiatives. And we in North Carolina have done a lot of things to help our children succeed. We talk about what we want them to do, what we want them to be. I used to always talk about this by saying that we want our children and our grandchildren, Chancellor, we want them to come to school healthy and ready to learn, ready to fly. See, we don't want to be ordinary people in North Carolina. We want to be the best we can be. We want our children to fly. And that's what you're working at as you work in this field. Now, in the early 1990s, we in North Carolina decided we're going to do something big, very big. We made a big step when we created the North Carolina Partnership for Children, Smart Start. Smart Start is a comprehensive statewide early childhood system with a 501c3 partnership in every county. Not trying to run things out of Raleigh, encouraging local people to work together and to have the best opportunities they can have. One way to think about the partnership, about the Smart Start, is it's sort of like a local school board for little children. You know, we have the school board, K to 12, it's wonderful. and many of us believe strongly in public education. We can have some variety in it, should. But Smart Start created these local partnerships. We were the first state to do something like this. I've spoken all over the country, and nobody's got anything like Smart Start. In fact, it was seen as so creative and innovative that the Harvard University Kennedy Center of Government gave it its Innovation in Government Award back in those days. Now, in the early 2000s, we in North Carolina put in place More at 4, now called NC Pre-K, another big step forward, finding those children who are about ready to start the school, but who need some more extra help to be fully ready. Governor Easley, Governor Perdue sponsored that. And always legislators. It's easy to talk about governors. Governors propose a lot of times, but legislators, and we've got some good ones here today, and I am so proud of them. They're the ones who have to believe it's good and be willing to support it. So Smart Start supports all children birth to K and gives priority to children with the greatest risk factors. It leverages. Think about the things that it does. I hope you all know about it. If you don't know about it, I want you to learn about Smart Start. I want you to go home. I'm going to challenge you right now. You're early childhood people, but you may not have fully realized what Smart Start does. I want you to. Smart Start leverages community support, getting a lot of support from a lot of different sources, stresses high-quality early learning, family support, early identification of health and developmental needs. North Carolina Pre-K, in addition, provides an early childhood classroom experience for 4-year-olds who have risk factors. I can share with you today that Smart Start and NC Pre-K are working. They are working. A recent study by the Duke University Fund found that the benefits from these programs, first of all, make significant gains, the children who go through them make significant gains in reading and math skills. It reduces the odds that children wind up in special education, where yearly costs can be out the window. Some states say they put $100,000 per student per year into special ed. And the Duke study found that the gains do not fade away over time. But it's because we have quality in these programs that it doesn't fade. Some other states report that there is fading, but we don't have it in North Carolina. Economists, and you'll hear from some of them today, say that high-quality early childhood education is a great economic investment and is one of the best things a state can do to build its economy and provide more high-paying jobs for its citizens. So the Institute for Emerging Issues has spotted the right thing, as we say. It's chosen well the topic, and we need to all learn more about it. And I want to challenge you today. I hope everybody in this room, there are about, 350 of you, you were the ones who were lucky to get in. You know it was sold out, and they cut off registration, Margaret. And a lot of my friends couldn't get in till I made a call for them. But all of you got in because you are such important people to this. So we need to learn more about it, but folks, we need to act. While our state of North Carolina has seen major tax cuts in recent years, huge tax cuts, and you could argue for those, we have also seen a big drop-off in the funding for Smart Start. The funding has been reduced by $84 million a year since the year 2001. Smart Start and NC Pre-K together today receive less funding per child than in the year 2001. Folks, we need to get going again. We've done big things. We've got great ideas. We've worked on them. We've made progress. We've kind of slowed down a little bit now. Let's go again. I think the people want us to do it. I know the children need us to do it. So let's take it to scale. Learn everything you can here today and resolve in your hearts and in your mind that North Carolina is going to do the right thing. We're going to do the big thing. We're going to have the nation talking about us again as they do even today. But what we want to do is to be so good at this that every child has a chance to become the best they can be. And that North Carolina, with Kidonomics and all the things you're involved in, will become the best it can be, because we want North Carolina to be the best it can possibly be for our children and for our future. Thank you. Have a great day, and I'm going to enjoy meeting and seeing all of you. Thank you very much.